Hi, welcome to Artistry Collaborative. My name is Joanne and I'm so glad you joined me today. If you're new to my channel, well, welcome. I hope you stick around, and if you see what you like, well, become a subscriber, because I would love for you to join my YouTube family. And to my subscribers, well, you know I just adore you. I really appreciate all your support so much. Here at Artistry Collaborative, we like to explore all kinds of creativity. DIYs, repurposing, a lot of Dollar Tree, and everything from ornaments to home decor to holiday decor to gifts. We do it all. And I love inspiring creativity in everyone, especially people who don't believe they're creative, because everyone is creative. You just have to try. And that's why we're the home of TryLab, because I want to encourage you to try. So if you have any questions or problems or ideas, leave them in the comment box and I will get back to you. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. Subscribe, share, I appreciate it all. Alright, so today we are going to repurpose those Christmas cards that are lying around. So come along and let's work on this together. So I noticed on a lot of the boards that I'm on, a lot of people say, what do you do with old Christmas cards? So this is going to be several ideas on what you can do. This I actually made for my daughter. I bought this card for my sister and she loved it. She loved the words, she loved the image, she loved everything. So instead of just giving her a card, I made her this. So I'm going to recreate this with you. It's a three-dimensional shadow box. I absolutely love it, and yeah, so that's what we're going to do. So the first thing you need is one of these. Now, these were at Christmas time, but they have them throughout the year. They had them in the fall. I'm sure they'll have them for Easter. So the first thing I got to do is cut this off, and I have a Dremel, but if you wanted to, you could probably pull this whole thing off, but I don't. I like the wood, so I'm going to cut this, and if you had mini saws, you might be able to do that, but that's the first thing you do. If you can't, again, you can pull this whole thing right off. Alright, so this is what they look like. I sanded them a little bit. It didn't matter too much because we're going to put snow and stuff, so as long as it doesn't give me splinters. Now I found these are a couple of scrapbook pages that I had, and I thought the coloring went really well with the card, so I'm gonna measure this and then cut out a strip here. And I also wanted to let you know that I'm going to take white chalk paint and I'm going to paint the outside of this, and then I'm going to distress it just to make it look a little more aged and to fit the theme of the card. So let me do that, and then I will be back. What I'm going to do is use Mod Podge and put the piece, I'll measure this, cut the piece, and Mod Podge it in the back. Alright, so this is with this down, and when I put it down, I use tacky glue. When I put it down, I got this from the Dollar Tree, but you could use a credit card, and I like to just cover it, go all over it so that there are no wrinkles, no excess glue. So I just wanted to let you know that. For some reason I cut these a little too short, but it doesn't matter because as you can see, we're going to put snow all along there. So if you do that, make sure you push it to the top so that the bottom is exposed, because we're going to cover that up. So I'm just taking a little bit of antique wax and I'm going to lightly just drag it along, just to give it a little distress. That's all. And it's really good because it picks up the highlights in the background too. So I really like it. Okay, so that'll only take a second to dry. Alright, so now we need to fussy cut the card up. So I'm just taking the piece off, the main piece, and I end up cutting up the bottom of the sleigh because it just about makes it in the thing. Yeah, see, I have to take off a little bit more. But what I mean by fussy cut is you kind of take the background off of it and you get fussy with what you're cutting off. I didn't mind too much of this. Like I didn't like the blue around the horse because I want it to blend in with the background that we put in there. But the bottom is fine. And since I took the top off of one tree, I'm going to take the top off of another tree. I still may have to take off a little bit more. Yep, just a little bit more. But take it off the bottom because again, that's going to be covered in snow. So it looks like it's gliding through the snow, like so. Alright, now the other thing I want to do is add a couple of trees. So, I gotta go in my stash and get my trees, and I'm gonna get my snow, and I'll be back. Okay, so I did trim all through here, so what I'm gonna do is take my gold marker and connect it once it is, oh, I guess I didn't connect it. Alright, that's fine. Alright, now, I mean, if you want to do little beads, well, you couldn't do that because it's a good, never mind. Alright, so now I'm going to take two Jenga blocks and I'm going to glue them to the back of this. Here. Should go all the way down. And one here. Like that. So it'll stand. Then I have to place my trees. So here is this. See, I gotta cut more of the tree. But I wanted this one about there. So what I'm going to do is take the bottom off and I'm going to trim the tree so that I only have half a tree. And it'll lay flat along the back. Now this is just where I happen to put it. You can put it any way you want. So then I fill it up with glue. And then I just place it in the back. And then I take a little one, again, take the bottoms off. This one I don't have to because it's going to go right in the corner. So we're going to put a lot of glue on the bottom and just place that right there, like so. Alright, I think I did a goof. Alright, so have some of this paste with some glitter in it I had from another project, and I am just going to fill this all in. I'm going to put some in the front too. Then I'm going to take my white paint, and we are going to add some snow. On the trees, on the house. Just highlighting certain areas. And then I'm going to take some of my glitter and sprinkle the magic. And since the paste won't probably hold on to the glitter, I'm going to take a brush and just add a little more of this paste on here so that it looks a little more glittery. Because you know me, I like my glitter. That's it. If you want to put words up here, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, that's up to you. You could also put lights in this if you wanted to. I just think it's too small and not everything needs to be lighted, which is totally not my usual. But I mean, you could drill a hole in the back and let them go all the way around and have the box in the back. Alright, so this is the first DIY. There is another one coming up right after this. For this one, we're going to use this lovely card. Looks like this. And we're going to build up dimensions. Except this we're going to light up. So I'm taking my drill and I'm putting a hole like that. And then I'm just going to feed this. I'm going to feed this through the back. And then I'm just going to place them all over the background. So I'm taking these sticky dots. You can find these at the dollar store. And just sticking the wire randomly all over the background. Now I don't know where the cards are going to fall, so I can't place them strategically, but it doesn't matter. There's 20 lights, so the whole thing will light up. Okay, so have you noticed I did most of them towards the top because I didn't really want to light down here. And I cut this piece. It's just a dark blue. It kind of looks icy, and I just thought it would complement, not that much of it's going to show, but I thought it would complement the card. So I'm just going to put a couple of dots of hot glue on top of these pads, but these pads are sticky, so they don't really need the hot glue. And then I'm just going to put this down and then just smooth it in. Now I'm going to turn it on, and everywhere that I see a light, I'm going to pinprick it so that the light shines through, and it also makes it look like stars. Like that. So let me do that and I'll be back. So that's what it looks like complete. So now I'm going to glue this in front of this. Now this and these trees, they came in little kits that the Dollar Tree had at Christmas time, and I just really scooped them up because I love that it can add. Now I don't even know if I'm going to be able to use these, but I may. And as you can see, I cut one up before because, you know, sometimes you can't use the whole thing. But anyways, I'm going to stain this so that it looks wood, even though we're probably going to cover it with snow. So I'm just using the antique wax, and I am going to paint that. So I am just going to put some hot glue on here. And again, you could use tacky glue, you could use E6000, whatever you like. And you know what? I think I'm going to put a popsicle stick. So let's cut this. And let's hot glue this so that it has a little extra foundation. Alright, now if you don't have a three-dimensional card, which you probably won't, you know, your card probably has one picture, you know, you could put that as your background and you can add elements in here, alright? But this is to show you, you know, I mean, you probably got at least one card like this. So I love that this has the entrance. So I can't use all of it because, well, it will just block the entire picture. But who's to say that I can't cut some of it out and go like that? Okay, that's one idea. Then I'd like that in the background, and then this would forward. So I'm going to cut this. This will probably be here, and maybe we'll put this way up there. So now I don't want to cover those lights, so we're going to poke holes in the lights. But I'm thinking, let's put this way here. Let's put this here. Let's put a tree there. And then this in the front. Alright, so all I'm going to do is use some Mod Podge. And I think I may cut out a portion of this because I don't want it to look so it looks a little more fitted. And I think I'm gonna get rid of most of the snow. back and I want to take my pin and I want to find where the light is and come through with the light. I don't want to lose the light. There. Alright. So now I want to put the tree like there. So again, we're going to cut off half of it. Wish we could save it somehow, but there's nothing you can do with it once it's cut. I'm going to put this guy here. If you wanted, you could put a little one here. So that it softens the edges a little bit. Alright, now this I'm going to put right where it meets. So it's actually going to go on the piece itself. So what I think I'm going to do is reinforce it with some Mod Podge. So I want to stiffen it up. Okay, so while I'm waiting for that to dry, I want to embellish the outside of this. So I'm going to cut this and just put some hot glue. Now you could add some bead garland like this. You could put little Christmas balls, stars, whatever you like. Oh yeah, I like that. Alright. I'm just going to go up and come down. Alright, so it's a shame I'm going to hide most of this, but I'm going to use it as a backdrop for this. So I have something to prop it up against. And I'm going to go like that, so that this just goes where that is. Or do I want to go like that? Huh. Questions, questions, questions. Yeah, maybe I'll cut some of this down so you get the other tip of the tree. And do it that way. Alright, well anyways, I have to paint this. So I'm just going to use a couple of acrylic paints. This one is called okay, so this is what it looks like painted, and I'm going to glue this in here, and then I'm going to attach this to this. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue because it does slide in. Oh, this isn't heated up yet. It slides in. But also, I could just slide it in and then add the glue later. Like that. But I'm going to offset it. And then I'm going to glue this onto there. And we're going to put some snow on these trees. I did poke holes through this so that maybe some of the light, you can see some of the light through there. Maybe I should poke a few more. Couldn't hurt. And you hardly notice it at all. Yeah, it does twinkle through. It's kind of cool. Alright, so let this heat up and I'll be back. So I have a lot of these leftover microfiber dusting mop things that I use when I make gnomes. So I just decided to cut a couple little strips and fill in the back. Even though you won't see it, it just finishes it really nicely, like that. Alright, and then I'm going to slide this way. Put a bead of glue here, doesn't really need it, but why not? Then I'm going to put this on here. So I'm going to glue it there. And there. Like that. Now, I'm going to put this here, but I'm going to put some Jenga blocks behind it. So, I am going to put some snow. I also want to put some snow here. Like there. Yeah. And we'll put some glitter, and alright, so I'm going to put down some snow, but I'm going to go get the Jenga blocks first. Alright, so I put some of the puffy paint and the glitter down here and on here, and I decided to add one more Jenga block just to make this just a little more stable. And now I'm going to run a bead of glue along here. And then I will take some more puffy paint, finish the snow in here,
you could also add, little touches along the fence. There is already glitter on here, but just to highlight it a little bit more. Yeah. And then we take our glitter. Then we're going to let that dry. So there's another option. Okay, one more. Okay, so this is using one of the Dollar Tree tins. I love these pie tins. And you can do this with a single card, or if you have several cards, you can add more dimension. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So we're going to put this down and take a pencil cut that out. Run my fingernail around there and then take it out and trim even more. And then that's going to go in there. So I'm going to glue this in and I'll be back. So this is down, and of course once I glued it down, I used tacky glue. I wanted to make sure it had a really secure adhesion. Now these are from the Dollar Tree, and so what we're going to do is we're going to put them all the way around. Now I don't want it to hide a lot of the picture, so I'm going to just trim. I hear a lot of people on YouTube say that, it makes it look more high-end. I'm not sure how that is, just by trimming it. I guess, I don't know, it doesn't look as wonky. I don't know. But I just do it because I don't want to hide too much of the image. Now another thing you could do you can take some of these berries and wrap them around the stem. And I tried to do it so that the berries are always on the top, so that you get the best, you know, they're not hidden behind the greenery. And this one is pretty bad, so I'm going to measure how much I need. Right about there. This one I definitely don't have to trim that much. Just going to attach it. The reason why I start down here is because we're going to put a little bow and some decoration. So, yeah. So then we just take our hot glue and go around the edge. I only do a little bit at a time because you want to just hold it there so that it's really secure. Now, you could leave it like this, but I'm going to try to give it a little more dimension. So I had more than one card, so I'm going to, like, fussy cutted it, which means, you know, just gave it detail. And I'm going to put one of these foam dots on here, and I'm going to put this right over the other image. And all it does is it raises it up, so it just seems closer. Now I cut this one, but it's not going to fit. So what I'm going to have to do is just go like so. And now that fits fine. Now we'll put several dots. Just line it up with the image behind it, and again, it just brings it out. Now I'm going to, I want to make a bow, so let me get that. Okay, so I just got some red ribbon, and I'm just going to make a simple bow, which is just a couple of loops, and then you take this one and you tie it behind. Like so. Maybe I don't have to. So, and I did the same thing with the jute, so this is going to go on here, and then this is going to go here. And then I bought this at, I guess it was Hobby Lobby, during Christmas, but I just cut a little bit, and then I'm going to put this right there. Just to make it a little more exciting. And then this came with it, and normally I change this out for ribbon, but it works with this scene. So what I try to do is hide this ugly piece of plastic behind the greens. And take this one, put it in there. And then just hide it. I mean, you can't completely hide it, but it's not as... And of course I'm going to go and highlight a little bit more, so we're going to put some snow on the mountains. And then of course and that's it. We'll let this dry, and that'll be it. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't became a subscriber and you like the content, please subscribe. Please give it a thumbs up, share it. I'm so appreciative of all of you, and there is a lot more to come. So thank you so much, and you have the best day ever. And as we say at Outer Street Collaborative, keep on creating.